Hi loves, it's been a minute and I'm so excited to be back here on the channel Star React. So today we're going to be checking out what 8 years in Germany does to you. If you're new here, please make sure you like, subscribe. Please share this video to people you think will find this interesting, and let's get right into today's reaction.
8 years in Germany have changed me quite a bit. Now, in this list, I try to go over things that aren't such cliche, stereotypical things that are talked about all the time. A couple of the points are kind of that, but they're true.
Hey, how you doing?
I believe my phone got hacked.
I lose respect for them by 1%.
But I try to go a little bit deeper and really think about how I have changed as a person, specifically from living in Germany and Europe, and not just from getting older. And so let's get into it. 8 ways I have changed in 8 years living in Germany. I would say that I've become pretty conscious or aware of the food and things that I eat in my body, especially when it comes to kind of like chemicals and preservatives in food. It's shocking when you look at the amount of chemicals that are allowed in food in the United States and that are banned here in Europe. The food regulatory bodies here in Europe are a bit more proactive, or maybe I would say much more proactive, to where food companies have to prove that certain chemicals and additives are not harmful to humans before they can add them to their products, whereas in the USA, the FDA is very reactive, and it is basically allow everything until proven otherwise. And there are thousands.
Actually, looking at these, as a Nigerian, you guys, the amount of chemicals in our food, and it's actually very sad to say that most food being banned from other countries due to the food not reaching the quantitative standard of the country is actually being brought here, and is allowed in supermarkets. People go there and buy, whereas this food are food that shouldn't be consumed by humans because of the harmful effect it would have on your body a few years from now. But it's actually very sad to see, and seeing how Germany on their own actually put a ban to this kind of food is very impressive to see. I would love to visit Germany for real.
Thousands of chemicals that are in Americans' food supply that we are eating that are toxins and terrible for us. And I feel that every single time I come back to the States after being in Germany for a while. And then so I try and be as aware as possible when I'm in the States of what I am eating, and not poison myself with the standard American diet. So I would say I've become much more conscious of my health in that sense. Sort of along the same line as health, I've come to look at alcohol a lot differently. Yes! I think people in the States, for the most part, look at alcohol as a very extreme thing. It's either all or nothing. And I don't think that's a healthy way of looking at things at all. Obviously, there are people who have problems with alcohol, and that's a terrible thing. But I think living in Germany, you're able to see that, oh, this can just be sort of a normal part of life. It doesn't have to be extreme. You can enjoy a beer at lunch or a glass of wine at dinner or whatever it is, and it can just be a nice, balanced part of your life.
Well,
so it's kind of abstract and a little bit difficult to explain, but I would say living in Germany has helped me have sort of what I would describe as a seasonal approach to life. It's funny, my grandpa on my Italian side, he told me when I was probably 14 or 13 years old, because he visited Europe all the time, said that the people in Europe are more close to the earth, more in tune with the earth. And I had no idea really what that meant at that age, but now living here in Germany for 8 years, I totally understand what it is. And it's, like I said, a little bit abstract, but it's basically, I feel like people in Europe are just a little bit more in tune with the natural cycle of things, especially here in Germany. It's a 4-season place. You get summer, autumn, winter, and spring. You get the 4 seasons, and in some places in the States you do get that, but here in Germany you for sure get it. And it kind of just helps you transition through different seasons of life, whether it be kind of the food that you eat. Laura and I have been talking, we've been trying to eat a little bit more seasonal. It just feels more natural and good. And then even sort of the way I go about life in the seasons. I don't think you need to do everything all at once all the time. There is a time for everything. And I also like that because it helps me think, okay, whether you're in sort of a good time or a bad time, sort of this too shall pass. things will keep going. This season will change. And that especially helps if you're in kind of a bad season.
Oh wow.
Hey, how you doing?
That's actually very interesting to see. That is actually very if I feel like if humans, if we come to understand this seasonal phase in our life, a lot of things will be smooth because even when you're going through bad times, there's this faith, there's this belief that it's just a season, something is going to pass, and there's this ease it gives to us, peace of mind it brings to us. And being in Germany taught him that I can actually just think of how people in Germany live and how relaxed, like the amount of peace of mind they have with themselves. I'm just actually just thinking about it now because that is actually one of the hardest things for humans to learn this seasonal phase in our life.
Good, man. How you doing? Good, man. Good. Hanging out, enjoying the weather, enjoying the sunshine. Up to anything today? Yeah, we're actually going to head down to the lake in a couple hours and enjoy some time on the water. Very cool. Enjoy. Good stuff. See you around. Cool. Have a good one.
My love for small talk. This is a massive stereotype that Americans love small talk. Germans do not participate in small talk, and for the most part, this is true. You're in Germany here and you're going through the checkout line, it's very rare that the cashier is going to make small talk with you and ask you about your day. Whereas when you're in the States and you're going to get a coffee, they're going to ask you, so what are you up to today? How's everything going? How's your summer? And this is just standard. This is the American way. And I've had a little bit of fluctuations on how I feel about it, especially when I'm going back and forth between Germany and the States. Right now, I would say I totally miss the American small talk. I love it. There's something just positive and bright about it. Even if some people can say that, okay, it's a little bit superficial, this person can't actually care about your day, or doesn't care about your summer or what you're doing. You can look at it that way, but on another hand, you can also look at it as it is a nice, genuine gesture, and there's nothing wrong with smiles.
Yeah.
Another way that Germany has changed me is I've started to care a bit more about privacy. Let me tell you a story. Guys, I had something pretty freaky happen to me this week, and it was that we believe my phone got hacked, and we traced the IP address of the person using my data, and it was in Stuttgart. And I was actually in Stuttgart earlier that day, and I had accessed Wi-Fi in public on my phone, and it was one of the only times in the last few years that I forgot to turn on CyberGhost VPN on my phone. Scary situation. We got it all figured out, but it just reminded me, man, I have to always turn on CyberGhost VPN when I'm accessing Wi-Fi in public. And it just so happens CyberGhost is also the sponsor of today's video. So CyberGhost is a world-leading VPN, virtual private network, that has 9,000 servers in over 90 different countries. And this helps protect you and keep you anonymous online. Helps protect you from hackers, but also from these data brokers who want to. And also, if you live in Germany and are a Formula One fan, you can get 83% off. You check it out using the link below. It also helps support me and this YouTube channel if you sign up using the link in the description. So check out CyberGhost. All right, back to the video.
The United States and the Americas are known as the New World. Europe, and here in Germany and these countries in Europe, are often referred to as the Old World. And living here in the Old World has helped me develop such an increased connection to history. I think it's hard to avoid it. I had a little bit of an inkling of interest in history before coming to Germany, but since living here and being able to go around to different historical sites and kind of live in a place where the Holy Roman Empire was, and there's just so much history, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years of history in these lands, it's hard to not get interested in it. I've just dove on into researching and learning as much as I can about history. It has also sparked now recently, after I've learned a bunch about sort of the 20th century history in Europe, I'm super interested now in American history, which is something I don't think would have really happened, or at least not that extremely, if I didn't ever live in Germany and didn't ever get this kind of spark for learning about history. Now I'm entering into my learning about the American history, which is a lot shorter than European history, but I think living in the Old World has really ignited my love and interest and passion for history.
For every 1 minute this person is late, I lose respect for them by 1%, and it is irreversible.
So I played football in college, and in college football, they really hammer home punctuality. You have to be 10 or 15 minutes early to every meeting or practice or lift or anything like that. If you're not, you're late. I love that. I'm a very punctual person, but then coming to Germany, it has kind of taken that to the extreme for me. And now I get quite angry, and I find it to be quite disrespectful when people are not punctual. It is a robbing of everybody's time. I really, really do not like it. Germans are known, it's a big stereotype that Germans are very punctual. I actually like that. There's a lot of truth to it, and it's a very positive thing. The thing that I always try to remember that my college football coach said is, if there's a meeting of 90 guys on the football team and you are 1 minute late, you just wasted 90 minutes of people's time. That's an hour. And
over here, time difference is a thing. When you tell somebody to show up by 9, just expect the person by 10 or 11. I'm guilty of that, and it's actually a cultural thing. I think we really need to look into that and work on it, because it's actually not a good thing or a good habit or trait neither. But it's actually a thing here. They call it Nigeria time. The party is by 9, or the seminar is by 10. People come maybe an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 hours late sometimes, and it's actually not a good thing.
A half. So I always keep that in mind. Living in Germany for these last 8 years have hammered home the punctuality in my life, and I would like everybody to be more punctual.
2% gone. Forever.
So this one's probably going to sound a little bit pretentious, and maybe on some level it is, but I feel like I have such a clear understanding and vision and perspective on the United States. I think when you're living in the United States, it's very, very difficult to see it from the outside and kind of see the full big picture. And then when you're living on the outside of the United States, you can see it from the outside and you can see it from a different perspective. But I think the fact that I've been able to live for prolonged periods in both helps me see my home country kind of in a complete picture. I struggle sometimes to talk to people about the United States and things going on in the United States here in Europe, especially because I know that they don't have kind of the full picture that you cannot get if you don't spend a prolonged period of time in the US. Same thing can be said for if I'm talking to somebody in the United States about the United States. I struggle knowing that they don't have the outside perspective and don't have the complete picture and perspective on the USA. Like I said, it's a little bit pretentious, but the people that I'm able to have the best conversations with and the deepest conversations with, and I feel like I'm the most stimulated and things are the most clear, are people who have lived in both for prolonged periods of time. And I think living here in Germany has helped ignite that and give me the full picture of the perspective of my home country. All right, guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos. I really appreciate it. Want to give a shout out again to the sponsor of today's video, CyberGhost VPN. Awesome VPN at a great price. Check them out at the link in the description below for a great deal. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.
Oh, this was a great one. Actually, the last part I totally understand. It's more of experience, from experience, not being well, I say sentimental, judging from one point of view, or not having full clips and diving into conclusion. Actually, experience brings out wisdom, wise word from people, because you've been through that particular thing, so you have a lot of words, a lot of examples to give in a lot of situations. This was actually very informative and helpful. What 8 years has especially the first one, when it comes to food, you guys have with so much research here on the channel. I was meant to understand that the food quality in Germany is actually very high. A lot of Americans has commented to that fact, and seeing him talk about it is a good thing. I think the food sector, they're actually putting good eyes, because food is something we consume and it significantly have larger effects in our life as we go as humans. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe. I love you guys. Share this video to people you think will find it interesting, just as you did. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye, loves.